Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of IFF News. Today, we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Prithijit Das. I think he needs no introduction. Currently, the president of Interkashi, the team which has won the recent I League title, the second tier of Indian football, and the club has made some serious developments in Indian football in recent past for last 2 years, especially. So, Prithijit, welcome to our show, and I think we'll have a great discussion about football and Indian football and your way forward.
Thank you, Shayan. Thank you for hosting.
Thank you. Prithijit, coming straight to the point, Dada, I think first question for me to you would be, how happy were you when Interkashi was at last adjourned the I-League champion? I think this was very controversy, which was on and off the field. Uh, how much you were happy and how much confident were you when Interkashi was at last adjourned the I-League champions?
See, I personally was confident from the first day that we are very clear. We played by the rules. There was nothing wrong we did. People had doubts and they wanted to clarify their doubts, which all got cleaned up. So I think I am actually very happy for the players, the coaches, and the staff and the fans because I think what they had to go through was not fair. We played on the ground, we won on the ground, everything was clear. And for reasons beyond our control, the due was not given. It's unfortunate it took a while for the due to be given to us, but like we say, justice was finally served.
It is said when this at least justice was served. Pritijit, the one more question to add on question to that would be, if you see the recent last few years, what we have seen, the champions of the I League moves to the ISL. So as we know, as we things stand right now, we don't have any clarity about ISL and future. How has been the team building after being the I League champion has been of your side, firstly? Because we have seen many of the clubs have stopped down the signing because we talked to many agents and all. They have told that we are not talking to anybody because right now due to the position we are in. So are you ready to play in ISL firstly, or else if you are not playing in ISL, because if ISL doesn't happen, I League would be an option. So are you ready to play in ISL next year right now?
So we are as ready as we can get.
Mhm.
We are excited that being a new club, and we will be the first club from a large state like Uttar Pradesh to represent in the top tier. But right now, we are still waiting clarification from the federation because the federation had
Mhm.
confirmed the winner of the I League gets promoted to the top tier. So we are now waiting official confirmation from the federation as to the next steps and where we will play. Once we get that, and then accordingly we build the team.
So, is the team ready, Dada? I want to ask you: is the team ready to play any tournament within 5 to 6 weeks from now on?
The team is always ready. I think right now we are waiting for our trophy. It's been some time since we've been awarded and acknowledged as the I League champion.
Okay.
We did get AIFF to congratulate us, but we're still waiting from them to find out when they will give us the trophy. I think post that only we can do everything. But right now, the first things first, we're still waiting for the trophy.
So you have not received the trophy till now.
No.
Okay. Okay. I think this was. I think this is something people will raise eyebrows because right now raise eyebrows because right now it's again. I don't want to comment on that, but I think this is something which is very. I don't know. I like not commenting on this, but it is something which is I think our audience will also. Which is shocking that a club has been adjourned an I League champion and they have not received a trophy, and that is something, and this is something I think uncalled for. So, Dada, one thing I would want to ask you. Interkashi has made some good signings. If you see, last year you got in a coach who has been was a I League champion, ISL champion last year. You got him as a head coach here. You got in Johnny Kauko, fine player of that team. So, are there any plans you have to move your base to Uttar Pradesh? Because if you see, it was a club named out on the city of Uttar Pradesh. So, do you have any plans to move your base to Uttar Pradesh from Calcutta in recent times?
So, Interkashi is a club from Uttar Pradesh.
Hmm.
We took this massive challenge to build a culture in Uttar Pradesh because there is no professional football club, and we are the first ones who set up a club like this. We are working very closely with the local government, and we are in constant discussion to get a ground to play. We've also told the local government that if they don't have a ground, we are willing to invest money to make our own ground. But as you know, everything takes time, and things doesn't happen in one day. But we are very confident that very soon we will have a football match in Kashi.
Okay. I think the local connect. I think with the club's name and all will happen.
No, I think
So
not the local connect. The club is a local club. It is a Kashi's club. It is unfortunate that uh, in Kashi we don't have any stadium. We don't want to play outside Kashi. We really want to play in Uttar Pradesh. We have been speaking number of times. We've written letters to the Uttar Pradesh Football Sangh. We've written to every possible places we can. We even tried to play one match in Lucknow, but I think there is a practical challenge for a football ground because most of the grounds in Uttar Pradesh are either for hockey or for cricket.
yes,
And
yes.
cricket grounds are very different from football grounds. Those are clay-based grounds, and football you need sand-based ground. So I think the government has been very supportive. They are trying to figure a way, and I think very soon we will have a football stadium where we would play.
Okay, okay. That would be a great it's a great advertisement for football in Uttar Pradesh. I think that would
Yeah.
definitely be. The one thing I want to ask you. I think I had this question on with me, and I wanted to ask you this: that you have been part of AIFF. You have worked in federation. You were part of Atlico, I mean, ATK, the club previously, which has been merged into MBSG. So, firstly, coming for the federation part, you have worked there. Means, are you happy currently Indian football is in? Because the problem right now Indian football is facing is the FSDL, AIFF clubs have had a meeting recently, but somehow people in the media and people, the general public, is not so convinced about the meetings and result because we are all buying a time, and as the day is passing on, it's becoming very difficult for any footballing club to sustain in this way. So, how do you see this scenario of Indian football? Your perspective.
So I think there are two parts to it. One, working in the federation was a great experience. It's not easy. India is such a large country. Managing all stakeholders and working is not easy at all. The federation has their own challenges. We also need to realize it is the Indian federation, and we are developing football. Football is not yet a developed sport. It is a developing sport. So the challenge is much harder. Saying that everyone is doing the best they can do. When I was in AIFF, I remember the discussions for the MRA had started at that point of time. The ex CEO of ISL, Martin Ben, was the guy who started the discussion, and the discussions are going on for a long time. But also, one has to understand that these are not easy discussions. It is the future of football. It is future of everything. So these discussions do take time. So I think one has to be a little bit patient and have it done. Maybe if the Supreme Court ruling had not happened, maybe the MRA would have been concluded before that. So that is one part. But the other part, when we're talking about losses and everything, I think
Mhm.
football is a sport where each club has their own budget, and there is no right or wrong thing. Some clubs run on a small budget, some club run on large budget. So you make your budget and you run the club. You cannot run the club and then say it's a loss because you have made your budget. Nobody is putting a gun on your head and saying that sign ABC player. You sign the players who you think is the best and who you think will help you win the league. So it is definitely up to the club. I think what is missing is Local flavor is missing. So, of all the ISL clubs, I don't think many clubs have homegrown players in the team. Like,
Mhm.
I think one of the things what we want to do in Kashi is we want to make sure that our team has, maybe not today, but in 3 years' time, have some local players, because you
Correct.
have to promote local players from your city, because once you have local players, then you have fans, then you have everything. In Mohun Bagan, Shubashi is a very good example. There's so many examples of a lot of clubs where kids who've been and they've grown. I think there's a similar story in Bangalore, in Goa. So it's the only way, because you have to develop your youth academies, you have to develop your own players, and then they will come up and then they will bring the fans with them.
Correct. Correct. Now, one more thing I want to ask you in regard to this is, of late, what we have seen is this FSDL and clubs and on the AIFF had some. They are sitting and discussing on things and all. Because don't you think we could have been more proactive in solving this issue? Because this was raised way back, as you said, it was a discussion which was going on, and we were knowing this was the last year of the agreement of 15 years agreement which we did with FSDL. So had we been more proactive, I think this scenario would have not come right now we are in, because league we are not sure about the league, and you, I think most certainly you will be getting promoted to ISL according what was told. So if you are as a club owner, you don't have a clarity. You don't if you have not got the trophy from the AIFF of I League being an I League champion, and you are not sure where you will play. You will play in I League or ISL, because ISL is we don't know what will happen. So don't you think that this would have been better off that if you would have acted I think if you would have acted fast, I think we have made some mistakes by acting a bit slow in this matter.
People don't realize nobody makes a mistake knowingly. You are making mistakes unknowingly. Everyone is trying to do the best. Sometimes the best is not seen. Sometimes what I am trying to do is miscommunicated, misunderstood. Uh, I am very confident the AIFM wants good for football. FSDL wants good for football because they've been investing so much money. All the clubs want good for football because that's the ecosystem how it works. Why
Mhm.
it has not worked and why they could not close the agreement, I feel it is much easier to say sitting on the other side, but I'm sure everyone has their own challenges which they are trying to solve.
Mhm.
But I think on the outside it always looks easy.
Mhm. Obviously.
We always watch a football match and we say he could have scored that goal, they could have scored that goal, or I could have scored the goal. But you're not standing at that point to realize
Mhm.
what had to be done. So I think outside it's sometimes easy, but inside it's not. And nobody, I can guarantee you, nobody in the right senses would ever want to do something which is not good for the sport. Why there is a deadlock and why it is not happening, I don't know. So
Mhm.
I don't know, but I do know everybody in the ecosystem is
Mhm.
trying their best, whatever that is, to solve it.
Correct.
Why it's not happening, I have no idea.
Okay, okay. But the one thing I want to ask, because you have been in the Indian football ecosystem for a long now, and you have been with federation with various clubs. One thing I want to understand, how you think Indian football would become one day economical viable option, because we see many of the clubs, I think all of the clubs in ISL are in red flag, means they are in losses. So how you think this can change in coming years? What is the way forward? Because you in yourself is a president of one club, so how you plan to make the at least balance sheet on a break even in coming
I think the
times?
line, repeat the question.
So I want to understand, as you have been a part of managing, you're part of the Indian football ecosystem for a long. So I want to understand from you that how would you plan to make your club come to a position where your club becomes economically viable? As we see, many of the ISL clubs are in losses. I think all of the clubs are, I think, not in that break-even mode right now. So how you plan for your club that your club will reach break even very soon. I think there is some network issue. I think I'll just check, and I think Prithijit was sharing his insights on Indian football and how it is, what he thinks about it, and many things he has shared about Indian football. I think we were in the last part and could have. I'm just waiting. I think there's some network issue from his side, so I'll add him again. So let's see. There's some network issue. So there's some network issue I think he's facing. So just wait. So I think connection has been unstable. So I'll just see. I'll just check. I think he's not able to join. I'll just check with him once. So it has been. It was a very insightful discussion about Interkashi and what is the plan of he has, because it's in certain. It's in very.
Sorry, my line got disconnected.
It got disconnected. Dada, I think you got the question, or you want me to repeat it again?
Can you repeat the question, please?
So so as you were part of the Indian football ecosystem for long, Dada, how you can make your club more? I think we see many of the ISL clubs are in losses. So how you plan to make your club at least reach to a place where we can say it's in break even?
So I think football club historically, I don't think they ever make money. Whatever money you're going to make, you're going to use that money to buy a Roy Krishna.
Correct.
What you can do is you can have a very strong academy where you can sell your players and make money in the transfer market. That's the only way you make money in football is in the transfer market. Have a very strong local presence, engage in the community, get more local players. The local players will then bring you local sponsors. And people forget now India is such a large, growing country, fourth largest in the world. We have many local companies who are large. They would come and sponsor you. Build your local connect, get the local players, do your soccer schools, do your local academies, matches, build the local player, and your player from the academy will always cost you much lesser than a player you buy from another club.
Correct.
So you have to, the only way you can make yourself sustainable is to have a strong youth product, a strong pipeline of kids who would then come to your senior team. Sell players, that's a good way to make money. I think that is the only way, and maybe just make your budget and stop on that budget. Don't go chasing a player for crazy money.
So, the one thing I want to ask you, and coming to the current situation we are in, so is Antonio Lopez Habas is continuing with the club, or there would be any change of him planned by the club, or the
He has
players
a contract
decide?
with us. Whatever I know, he is coming and he's gonna be coaching us.
Okay, okay, okay. And anything you want to say, add on with the I League fiasco which we faced? I think it went to the CAS and all, and I think it was a big mess Indian football was in. So you said it many things, but I hope that this year's I League, I think I League, ISL, and everything happens properly. And I think anything you want to add about the current state of Indian football, anything you want to add from your club side, or any message you want to give to the fans?
I think let's keep the trust on football. Like the president said yesterday, the show must go on. Sometimes you go through difficult patches. Uh, People are fed up of the sport. People are fed up of the negativity. But I think if we all come together and have belief, today or tomorrow or day after, things will change. You have to be at it. I mean, that's the only way to make it successful.
Thank you, Dada, for your time. I think it was lovely chatting to you. You shared your insights about Indian football, and I think the last message shared by you, I think it is something which all Indian fans should look into, because I think in amongst all negativity, I think positivity is that we all, I think all the stakeholders need to come together and make this beautiful game successful in India. Thank you, Dada, for your time. I think it was lovely
Thank
talking to
you.
you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank, thank you, Dada.